Okay, I don't know how that is, but hello. So the current devs are currently working on the workshop, so I wanted to redo the level making tutorial. In the workshop right now, there's a workshop tutorial by one of the devs, which you might or might not have checked out yet. So you can either go through that, see if that helps anyway, but I'm gonna make a video version anyway, just in case. So you might already notice in the description there's two requirements. There's the tiled map editor. That's the website mapeditor.org. So this is mapeditor.org. Here you see tiled. You just click on download at iShire, scroll down, download now. No thanks, except you want to. And then you look for your operating system, Windows, macOS, Linux. For me, it would be Windows. So you just click download, takes you to the download. You know how to do all this stuff, right? But I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to do that. To create a map, you just go on Steam, right click CARRION, click on properties, local files, browse local files. Then there's folder should open up. And down here, you just launch the UGC toolkit executable. Now, you should, if you have subscribed to a couple mods already, they should show up here. So you can like go through them, browse local files. You just see this. But I'm not going to do that. You can also just click play here, but that doesn't matter. So right here, you see my project, new projects directory. You just type in whatever. So for this video, I'm just going to just type tutorial. Once you have typed that in, you just click new project. See here, my new project. It's in location, use content tutorial. So right here, you see user content, and it's here, tutorial. These are our files. Right here, you can also click edit info, change the title, tutorial, description. I'm just gonna leave that. First level, tutorial. Down here you have the save photo prefix, which I recommend changing from my mod saves to like level name underscore saves, just for like to make sure no other mod like breaks it or overwrites the saves of your one. Of course, there can also always be like someone who has the exact same name, but right now that shouldn't be too much of a problem. You just add tags like tutorial quick plus, and then you can add more, however many you like. So right now we don't really have a level, but if we click play, the game loads up, and if we click new game, it loads up at this level. You might notice, oh, what's this level? I've never seen this level before. Well, that's the default level when you create a project. So in here, you see the levels and scripts. Oh, actually, I forgot to save, so click save there. You can also click browse local files and it takes you to this folder. In levels, you should rename the level to the first level, or the other way around. You just name the first level whatever name this level has. You don't have to name it like something else. You can also keep it like as my level. So then you have the .json here, and in the scripts you have the .cgs. Then you have the template here, tile sets, blah blah blah. You can change the logo and image. Like I'm just gonna open up the logo, get rid of this, like background. Ooh. Oh, right, yeah. Save that, close that. Now in the levels, gonna open up tiled. The levels, I'm gonna pull that in here. And you see it's the level that loaded up before. Now we got a couple stuff here. We got some tiles around, like a big box with a hollow space. We got the this red thing and a pink rectangle. You might notice, what's that? Those are this is the monster, so the player. with 2 players. Like this is the start position of it. This is a hive checkpoint, whatever you want to call it. This yellow circle is a light. It emits a light. And there's also a big dark rectangle, which is the chamber, which is pretty much what defines the room. So now, let's say we want to place more tiles, right? You've got a couple shortcuts here in Tiled. So you can press T to get like a tile stamp tool, where you just like, where you can right click something. Like if you right click the background and it's empty, you can remove like brushes. No, I don't need this. If you want to place these tiles instead of removing them, you can also right click in the tiles and you're now placing them. And you can also select them down here. There's a terrains tab, where's the collision, overlay, and half tiles. You can also place single tiles with, when you press B, which is the brush tool. Just select the tile and you can paint it. You can also like select multiple and paint it like this. It gets a bit messy, but you can make like patterns. Like if you do this, go to this, you can then also hold right click and select all of this, and then you have it like as a pattern that you can draw. Then you also got the eraser with E, where you can just delete blocks. You can press H, then you can see what, easier what tiles are visible on this layer, because there's also a background. When you press H again, you can toggle it. And over here is probably the most important part of mapping, the layers. You can, if you put stuff on the wrong layer, it could cause problems depending on what it is. So you got a couple, oops, didn't mean to do that. You got a couple like pink, purplish icon layers over here, like reverb zones, ambient sounds, parallax, water, lights, fog, object plus, overlays, decals, and chambers. And then you got these tile grid looking icons. Four of them. You got the foreground, which are the solid blocks over here. You got the foreground details, which is like also in the foreground, but like not really solid. You can go through them. You got the background, which is the background. You can also remove the background, and then you could put a parallax to like where you move around and it moves slightly slower, like a bit of 3D. I'm gonna explain parallaxes later. And you also got the background details, where you can place some like overlays, and they'll appear behind the player but over the background wall. Then all the objects layers, you see the reverb zones. Then all the objects layers, you see most of them should not have anything currently. If you click on an object in game, or in Tiled rather, you see it changes to a different layer. And this is the correct layer it should be on. So this is a chamber of, you can here see the type chamber, and it's on the layer chamber. If I put the chamber on a different layer, let's say objects, the game would crash. You can also just check here in the tab objects. You can check what objects are in which layer. You can also click on them and it quickly takes you to them. If the game crashes because you place something in the wrong layer, it should say so in the game log. Like it would say unknown type chamber for layer objects or something like that. And then you know, oh yeah, I made a silly mistake there. So you just take the chamber and move it to the chambers. You have to cut it and go in chambers and paste it. Let's change some stuff over here. I'm gonna add this and this. Maybe a bit smoothing out. Like that. So let's launch level. Click on play. Okay, so once in game, you just click new game, and you instantly should notice, oh, this is new. You place this. So the tiles we placed are now actually in game, and you see they're solid. I can't pass through them. Now let's go back in tiled. Like I said, foreground details, I'm just gonna put the overlay here. And background details, I'm gonna put the background overlay over here. Back in game. I'm gonna press 2. That reloads the level. And here it has a slight overlay now. It's not really visible with this level gen, because it's the white box. It's like barely visible. But if I change it to like a lab, it would be easier visible. One more thing, the F2 to reload the level, you would have to activate yourself, I believe. And there's also F4, which is like a free moving camera, which is like automatically reloads the level once the game detects a change in like tiled or the script. So to enable this, the like F2 and F4 thing, those are actually debug hotkeys. And you can enable them by opening the console and typing in setting debug hotkeys enabled 1. Like, let's put it to 0. If I press F2, nothing happens. If I set it to 1, it alerts the level when I press F2. Let's go back in tile. With the overlay. Actually, no. I'm gonna show what I mean. So I'm gonna click on the chamber. Go on background texture. Gonna change it to lab 1, and the foreground texture to lab 1. I go back in game. Reload the level. That did not work. Hang on. I have to click overwrite foreground generator. Reload the level. Oh yeah, there we go. And now it's a different tile set. For the tile set, you don't actually like all of them select yourself, but instead you like set the chamber to whatever tile set it should use, and it applies that to all the tiles in the chamber itself. You can also have multiple like sub chambers in one big chamber. So I'm gonna take this chamber, duplicate it with Control D. Hold down Alt so it like snaps to the grid when resizing. Gonna put it like maybe like this and this. So I want this small part of the chamber to be, I don't know, let's say jungle. To jungle 1 in both of them. And activate is subchamber, else it wouldn't work. Now when we go back in game, press F2. See, this little part here is now the jungle texture. Or tile set. Now it's looking a bit boring and there's nothing really to do, so let's add some objects. Back in tile. And you might notice, where do I get objects from? Do I just place them like this? Assign them a type, do whatever? Nope, there's an easier way. Over here, you might see the project tab. Right click and add folder to the project. And then this window should open up. And you're gonna have to find your templates, which would be in under CARRION, like Programming Files x86, Steam, Steam-Apps, Carbon, CARRION, user content, your project, and then templates. And then you want to stay in the templates folder and select that. Then it should open up all these. You can open up all of them. Now you should have a bunch of objects that you can place down. Let's place down, I don't know, let's say a locker. right here. How about an office desk? Maybe a sink, because why not? Some stock TV. Move it down. Put a switch down here. Let's also make a little room over here. We'll put something else. Maybe like a few humans you can eat. You go click in the chamber, make it a bit wider. You want to have the chamber a bit further out than the inside of like the rooms. So you want to have like, here's like the edge of the tiles from the in-game room. You have 1 tile, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that should like, I'd say at least like this far. You can put a bit further out as well. Only make it like closer like this if you really have to, or if you want to, like if it's appropriate, but I wouldn't recommend it. So let's put a door here. When placing objects, you can hold control so they also snap to the grid. I'm gonna put right here. You can also align it if you zoom in. You can press the arrow keys to do fine movement. Also shift and arrow keys to move them 1 tile every time. Gonna save. Put some unarmed human over here, maybe 2. And a light. Wherever that is. Okay, I can't find it, whatever. I'm just gonna use the default light. Gonna set it to a different color, let's say purplish. Put the radius a bit up, maybe 200. Gonna save. Then go back in game and reload the level. And I did something wrong. Okay, so it's my game crashed, and I know exactly why. So, like I was mentioned earlier, when you place stuff on the wrong layer, the game tends to crash. So this light object I placed in the chamber. Actually, wait now. Yeah, I placed all of these in the chamber, but the light is should not be in the chamber, but the light should instead be in the lights layer. So I'm gonna put that right here. Go back to objects. You see, all of these are not chambers. So select all of them, Control X to cut them out. They all go in objects. Put them right here. Then when I load the level back up, play. It should in theory not crash. And that is correct. We got a couple of humans in here, we got a door, a switch, got a locker, got a sink up here, got a TV, table, break it as well if you're fast enough. There you go. And then now let's open the door. Odd. The door should open. I wonder why it doesn't open. That's because you need to script it first. The game doesn't know what does what. We just place the switch near the door. The game doesn't know, do you want me to open this door, or should the switch not do anything? So let's tell the game that the switch should open this door. To do that, let's go back in tiled first. We need to define, we need to assign both of the objects a name first. So let's name the switch. Up here, above the type, it should say name. You just put the like switch 1, and the door is gonna be door. And then your project folder, you go in the scripts, open the .cgs and any text editor. I just prefer Notepad. I'm gonna open Notepad. Gonna put right here. Know this. Gonna drag the tutorial in. Now we want the switch opens this door, and it's as easy as thing 1 does thing 2. Right? So we want this switch. Which one? To open door 1. And that's it. That's all you need to write. Switch 1 minus greater than door 1 semicolon. Don't forget the semicolon. It might crash, or no, it would crash. The scripts just wouldn't work. So let's go back in game. Delete the level. Pull the switch. The door opens. Now we can eat the humans. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was pretty much all the basics you should know, or you need to know. Now, you should be able to make a basic map. Of course, you can go back into the editor over here somewhere. Put the goal right here. Maybe remove them and instead put a pistol human right here guarding the exit. Back in game, reload. Then thing is right there. We only had one hive, so it's already open. Just pull the switch. Kill that guy. Maybe eat him. And go through. And yeah. That's pretty much the basics to making a level. I'm gonna make another part where I'm gonna talk about more complex things. Gonna redo the sweep, probably. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, see ya.